Hello and welcome. I'm glad you joined me today. I am in a mood, don't really want to cook, but I decided if I'm going to cook, I want it to be some comfort food. So if you know what I mean, it's food that makes me feel warm and cozy and special. And what I've decided to make is spaghetti casserole. I mean, what a better dish than spaghetti casserole, because it's got the wonderfulness of spaghetti and meatballs combined into a casserole with lots of gooey, yummy cheeses. So let me show you how we're going to do this. Let's have fun. I'm going to start with a pan of salted water and get my spaghetti going. I'm going to use about 6 ounces of spaghetti, and we'll get that water boiling. The next thing I need to do is get my meat going. So I'm gonna, let's plug it in. Next, we want to get our meat going. So I have here a ½ pound of ground beef, grass-fed. That's the best, and organic. And I don't always buy the organic, but I always buy the grass-fed. And then my sausage, which isn't quite as healthy, it's Italian sausage, a ½ pound. Now you could do this with a pound of ground beef, and if you're making a larger casserole, mine is just a smaller casserole. If you're making a larger one to serve more like 6 people, you might want to use a ½ pound of the meat. So we're going to put that in our skillet and let it brown up. And what we want to do is to break that meat up into pieces. So if you've got one of these handy dandy, I don't know what you call it, then use that. Otherwise, just your spatula to break it into smaller pieces as it cooks. Now, my pan's not hot enough, as you can tell, or it would be sizzling right now, but it'll heat up. And it's okay to put this in early like this. Now, my ground beef is 80%, 20% fat. I like that mixture, it gives a lot more flavor, but if you're trying to watch your fats, you might even be using 90%. It's up to you. Okay, let's add a medium-sized onion, finely chopped. Let's add 2 cloves of garlic that have been minced. If you want, you could use garlic powder. I'd say about 3 or 4 teaspoons of garlic powder. Now what we're making here is our meat sauce. And we're going to cook this over medium-high heat until it's browned, and that should take about 5 to 10 minutes. Did I tell you to put salt in your spaghetti water? And it's going to take about 8 minutes for our spaghetti to cook, because we want it al dente. Now my meat is just about cooked all the way through. My onions are tender. So next, we're going to make up our sauce. Now you could buy ready-made marinara sauce, your favorite, or you can do this easy recipe for making your own sauce. And I'm going to do it by adding a teaspoon of cinnamon and a teaspoon of oregano. Now I'm going to do just a little black pepper to taste. That's probably about a ½ teaspoon. And about a ½ teaspoon of salt to taste. And you might decide to go a little lighter on salt or a little heavier, just to what you prefer. Now some people like to put sugar in their spaghetti sauce. I do not, but if you do, 1 teaspoon of sugar is what you would add at this point. Now then, I've taken a can, it's a 14½ ounce can of chopped tomatoes. Mine happen to be roasted, and I'm going to add that, all of the liquid to it. And let's add 3 to 4 tablespoons of tomato paste. 2, 3, and 4. I like getting my tomato paste this way. I can freeze it, what I don't use, and pull it out for another recipe. Yeah, I'll stir that up. Oh, I forgot to tell you, if your meat was greasy, you should take a paper towel and absorb the grease. Mine did not have any extra grease, so I didn't need to do that step. But if yours is greasy, go ahead and sop it up. Oh, my water is boiling. Let me get that spaghetti into the pot. We're going to let this sauce cook for about 10 minutes on a simmer, just to let the flavors combine. Okay, so my meat sauce is cooked up pretty well, so I'm going to set it aside while I get ready to make the rest of my spaghetti ingredients for the casserole. Now, take your baking dish. Mine's a little smaller one, but whatever size you need for your casserole. I probably will have too many ingredients for mine, but you want to oil it, and I will spray mine with olive oil. Avocado oil is also a healthy alternative. Next, you should take 2 eggs and whisk them up till they're well blended, and we'll set that aside until we have our spaghetti cooked. You should preheat your oven to 350 degrees Fahrenheit. Okay, I cooked my spaghetti until it was al dente, which means it's still a little firm, and I cooked it only 8 minutes rather than 10 minutes like the package directions say. We want it a little firm like that because it's going to continue to cook in the oven. Now then, what I'm going to do is, oh, wrong thing. I'm going to put in Parmesan cheese, about 1/3 cup, and I've got more than 1/3 cup here, just in case I wanted more. I'm going to stir that around while it's still a little warm. And then I'm going to let this cool down a little bit because I don't want to put the eggs in at this point or they would fry. And I don't want fried eggs. So we'll let this cool down just a tad. Okay, my spaghetti and Parmesan cheese have cooled down some. So let's do our next step and whisk our 2 eggs up a little more. And then stir those in. And just stir it around till they're well coated. And then our next step is to put this on the bottom of our baking pan. Trying to do this left-handed. There we go. And I'm going to spread that out evenly on the bottom of my baking dish. And I didn't make as much pasta as the recipe calls for, since I am trying to make just a small serving. I've got 1 cup of Greek yogurt, and you could use cottage cheese or ricotta cheese, but I've chosen to use Greek yogurt. And mine probably won't take the full cup, we'll see. I'm gonna go on and put more in. Okay, now what I want to do is top that with my sauce. Spread that out evenly. Again, I've probably made more sauce than what I need. Isn't this easy? Let's put it in our 350 degree oven for 20 minutes, and then I'll get back to you. Now, if you're enjoying this video, please watch other of my videos. I actually have one where I make spaghetti and meatballs, and it is outstanding. It has secret ingredients in it, so you'll want to give that a try. I will leave a link in the description below. The ingredients for this spaghetti casserole will be down in the description also. And if you're enjoying this video, please subscribe, I love all of my followers. It's great having you here with me. And I also enjoy when you make comments. Thank you so much. Let's check on our spaghetti casserole. It's been 20 minutes. Okay, here we go. It's been 20 minutes. And so now what we want to do is take our mozzarella cheese and spread it on top. Now the recipe calls for 1 cup, and my casserole dish is a little smaller, but I'll probably use more than 1 cup. But you do what you like. It's okay to adjust the recipe to your likings, especially when it's comfort food like this. Yeah. Oh, wow, yum. This is looking good. You know, I really like cheese, and I'm thinking I've got some leftover leftover Parmesan cheese. I'm thinking I'm gonna add to this. Okay, so that's about 1 3/4 cups right there. And look at this leftover Parmesan. Let's sprinkle a little on top of that. Yes, Darby, you want more cheese? Yeah, okay. Alrighty, let's put this back in the oven. Let's put this, Darby. Let's put this back in the oven for 5 minutes and let it slightly brown and melt. Okay, it has been 5 minutes and our casserole is done. Oh, it does look like a perfect comfort food. Look at all that cheese, yum, yum. This looks delicious. It's the perfect comfort food I was thinking of. Come on, join me. Let's have a taste. Trying to get some of that spaghetti on there. Oh, cheesy too. Yum. Okay, here we go. Yes, perfect comfort food. You're gonna have to try this recipe and tell everyone about it because it is scrumptious. Your family's gonna love it. Thanks for joining me. Bye now.